Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is SilverBeanie here, bringing you guys week 8 team builder for the UBL season 1. The Crystal Palossands are this week taking on Coach Hawk and the Chelsealeos in a very scary match that awaits us. They have got an incredibly threatening team and they are currently also 6-1. So our streak may come to an end, unfortunately. If you missed our last match last week, definitely go and check that out. Link will be up there in the top if you want to check it out. But last week was incredible. We are currently now 3-4. We've had 3 wins back to back after our rough start of 4 losses in a row. But we are now on a really good streak. Hopefully we can continue, but we will see. I think this week is going to come to a crushing end because we've got an incredibly threatening team. We've got to take down a Mega Diancie. What an absolute monster this thing is. I have used a Mega Diancie in competitive play before, and I know for a fact this thing is destruction. Absolute destruction. It gets magic bounce, so we can't really freely get webs up or, you know, stealth ropes and things like that in front of it, nor can we like do any hazard stats either. Things like Moonblast and Diamond Storm, that's literally all you need on this thing, and it just destroys everything. Absolutely insane. Pretty much, base 50 HP isn't is relevant, but base 160 attack, base 160 special attack, and then 110 in both defenses and speed. This thing is an absolute monster. Must get rid of this as soon as. But oh my goodness, this thing's going to be quite a challenge to take down. But we have some preps. We've also got the Hydreigon. Hydreigon is another very scary monster that we've got to take down. It does have Levitate and it's got Dark and Dragon typing. Base 92 HP, 105 attack, 125 special attack, 90 in its defenses and 98 in its speed. Bit of all over the place, its stats. But it's pretty bulky and it's pretty offensive and it's pretty fast as well. Typically these things are run with a Choice Scarf, which is a little bit annoying because it outspeeds most of my team. But things like Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, U-turns, usually classic standard sets, maybe Flash Cannon if he wants to bring that to counter some fairy types or whatever. But overall, this thing is very tricky to take down because it offers such an offensive threat and it's so fast. It's quite tricky to try to work around. And I have to say, preparing the team, for this Pokemon, it was that was definitely a challenge. The Rotom Wash is another one that they brought, another very scary mon. And again, with the Levitate, we are going to struggle with our ground type attacks. But again, another Levitator, Electric Water type. Its attack and HP is it's just non-existent. But 107 both defenses and 105 in its special attack and 86 speed. It's fairly speedy. But mainly these things are typically run bulky. Will-O-Wisp, Trick maybe. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, standard sets, very simple. But again, it's a tricky one to get around. We've got to try and find a way where we can get around it and still offer a strong offensive hit. So it's going to be a challenge to take this thing down. We've got to really try and get around it and really try and get this thing weakened as much as possible. But again, we've got quite a few counters for this thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Donphan is another big problem. I to an extent, expect the Donphan. The first 3 Pokemon, 100% they're coming. I do not see them coming. The Donphan maybe, because the Donphan I think is his only spinner. He's got a couple of defoggers, but this is his only spinner. So Earthquake knockoff, Rapid Spin, typical sets, maybe something else on Toxic or Tex maybe, or something like Ice Shard. But this thing's typically, obviously, physically defensive, base 120, sorry, in both its attack and its defense, and base 90 HP. So it's pretty physically bulky. On the special side, not so much, nor is it speedy. It's only base 50 speed. I'm not so much worried about taking this thing out. I'm more worried about taking a hit from it, because typically it's like straight up adamant nature, max HP, max attack, literally just kill something. So we definitely got to keep an eye out for that. If he brings the Donphan, then my specific lead choice will change, but I'll hopefully talk about that in a little bit. Also bring in the Bronzong. Now Bronzong, to an extent, I don't expect to come. Bronzong you can obviously run Trick Room. It's the slowest thing in his entire team, base 33 speed, but it's got base 116 in both defenses and base 67 in its HP. So it's pretty bulky. This is only Steel type if I'm not mistaken. Yep, no, it's only Steel type. But this thing is typically used to get up Trick Room, to get rocks up, toxic stuff maybe, like Gyro Ball and things like that. So typically this thing's really just there to get rocks, screens, things like that. To an extent, I don't expect it to come. I really don't. I've got a few counters for it in case it does, but I do not expect it to come at all. But overall, it's a pretty scary thing. One of the things I really expect to come, and one of the things actually I think I'm going to struggle with, I mean, I've got one counter, but then I can't do much back, so I'm going to struggle with this, and that is the Crobat. Crobat is the fastest thing on his team, minus obviously slapping choice scarfs and everything. Base 130 speed, 90 attack, and then sort of 70 and 18 everything else. It's scary. I do not know what I'm going to do against this thing. I've got a few counters, like Doublade for example, literally to wall this thing, but I can't do anything back to him. Nothing. Absolute jack monkeys. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But Brave Bird, U-turn, you know, cross poison, it's going to do a lot to me on various different Pokemon. So this thing's going to be a bit of a tricky thing to take down. I do expect it to come. Infiltrator is just literally just walls everything. So we've got to be careful with Crobat. Definitely got to be careful. The Gorgeist is another scary thing. To an extent, I could see it coming. To an extent, it's one of those ones I'm like, meh, maybe. But it counters a couple things. But typically, Frisk is what it usually runs, so to see what your opponent item is. It's pretty bulky. Base 75 special defense, but base 122 in defense and base 85 HP. And then 100 in its attack. So it's pretty pretty bulky. If you're going to run a Gorgeist, you run it supersized. Like, you don't run a Gorgeist and run it small or whatever. You run it supersized, because Gorgeist has got 4 different sizes. You know, you've got small, I think it's small, no, super small, small, large, super large. Something like that, pretty sure. But, you know, Will-O-Wisp, Foul Play, Seed Bomb, Leech Seed, those kind of sets is what I'm expecting this thing to bring if he brings it. But it's going to be interesting whether or not he does actually bring it. Heracross is another thing. Now, Heracross is actually, out of this entire Pokemon, the one Pokemon I am least looking forward to facing. I know for a fact it's going to come. 100% it's going to be coming, I guarantee it. If he slaps a Choice Scarf on this thing, I think we are in trouble, especially if it's Choice Scarf Moxie. I think we're in trouble, because Mega Horn, either Mega Horn, Close Combat, or Knockoff, one way or another, wrecks my team. Those 3 moves, that's all he needs to bring, obviously depending on which one he leads, if he is Scarfed. But one way or another, one of those 3 moves will guarantee kill everything on my team, one way or another. It's going to be seriously tricky to get rid of that thing. I have to take it down as soon as. All of my hits are going to be at least a 2-hit KO, everything. And I'm really, like, I'm not looking forward to it. The Heracross, I know it's coming. I know for a fact it's going to be coming. Base 125 attack, 18 HP, 95 in its special defense, and 85 in its speed. This thing is bulky, it's fast, it's offensive, it's destruction. I hate it. I don't like it. Not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it. Got the Thundurus. Thundurus is another scary thing. Base 111 its speed. 115 in its attack and 125 in its special attack, and then 17 and 18 in its defenses. I do expect this to come 100%. Prankster is typically what this thing's run with, because it's its hidden ability. I'm pretty sure you can get Prankster. I'm pretty sure you can get the hidden ability version. Not actually sure off the top of my head, but anyway, it is tricky to take down. It's going to have Hidden Power Eyes, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, classic simple sets with Thundurus. But it's so fast. I'm hoping, I'm praying to God, this thing is not Scarfed. Because if this thing is Scarfed, game over. 100%. Game over. Because I have nothing that can outspeed. Everything that he has will, one way or another, one-shot me. So, or at least 2-hit KO. But it's, I have to get rid of this thing as soon as. So, rocks are going to be very important, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Skuntank. I don't really expect Skuntank to come. Maybe there's a couple counters, but it's not gonna come. Dark Poison, 103 in HP, 193 in its attack and 84 speed. Typically, Poison Jab. It's one of his defog users. But Poison Jab, Sucker Punch, maybe Crunch or Pursuit. Overall, I don't expect this thing to come. The Magmortar I could see coming, but I have too many counters, so I don't see it coming at the same time. But I could see it coming, you know, just maybe a sort of special bulky powerhouse, but overall I don't see it coming. Typically these things are self-vested, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, you know, Impact Grass maybe, something like that. But overall I don't really see the Magmortar coming down. But overall now let's talk about our team. So you can see our team up, still chilling up there. You may notice one thing straight away. There is no Chandelure. Chandelure so far has come to every single match. 7 weeks in a row I've brought Chandelure, and it has put in the finest of work every time. It's got one of the most amount of kills in the league. I think it's currently think it's like in the top 10 for the most amount of kills, something like that. It's absolutely destruction. I love having Chandelure. But did not decide to bring up this team. I thought he had too many counters. He had too many things that could learn knockoff, too many things that outspeed it, too many things that it just doesn't benefit. I didn't see it benefiting this week at all. So Galvantula, as you can see, we've got Gasteric here returning with the Life Orb. It's a very similar set to last week. In fact, I think it's the exact same, minus the fact we've got rid of webs and we've actually checked Energy Ball. Energy Ball guarantees 2-hit KO that guarantees 2-hit KO the Donphan, depending on its investments. 2-hit KOs the Diancie, guarantees a 2-hit KO on the Rotom, and I think that's about it. And then Thunder or Bug Buzz will take down the Hydreigon. Thunder will take down the Crobat. The only problem with the Crobat is the Crobat outspeed regardless. So the only way I could outspeed is if I choice scarfed it, and I didn't want that. So fingers crossed, we'll be alright. But if that Crobat does come in, we could be in trouble. But I mean, if the Crobat comes, I expect it to be banded. So if I can lock it into Cross Poison, then we'll be fine. But Gasteric is here and absolutely putting the finest of work. It's one of our MVPs. The plan is to keep Gasteric back as long as possible, and so it can come in late game and just sweep, and literally just clean up the field. Because either Thunder, Bug Buzz, or Energy Ball will pretty much kill something, providing it's around 50% or less. So Gasteric is absolutely incredible, absolute monster of our Pokemon. So happy we have it on our team. So I'm looking forward to, for it to making a play this week. We're also bringing back Destiny, our Tapu Fini. This week, I just thought Tapu Fini was perfect. I thought it literally counters and walls near enough his entire team one way or another. I thought it was so good. Against that Hydreigon, it can do nothing. Even a Flash Cannon does nothing. One Moonblast, bam, it's gone. Unless this thing runs insane special bulk or an Assault Vest, it ain't living a Moonblast. It ain't living. Bringing back my knockoff. I love me knockoffs. I love my knockoffs on my Tapu Fini. So unexpected. But 204 in it's a defense, 52 in special defense, and then max HP. Surf, Moonblast, Ice Beam, and obviously the knockoff. Ice Beam's there for pretty much overall coverage. Moonblast, obviously for the Hydreigon. Surf is just there for the Diancie, because it 2-shots the Diancie. It will 2-shot the Donphan, or we can Ice Beam it. And it, I think it OHKOs the, if it doesn't, it's near enough and OHKO the Assault Vested Magmortar. So overall, it was just perfect. Very excited to bring this back. We're also returning Mr. Gold, our Crocodile. Mr. Gold, the Crocodile. So this week, once again, Choice Scarf, Intimidate. This thing is designed to counter the Crobat. It literally will wall it 100%. Drop an Intimidate, a Cross Poison or a Brave Bird does less than 50%. One Stone Edge does a minimum of 80% minimum, depending on obviously investments and stuff. But it's minimum 80% regardless. So if we can get a Stone Edge off successfully, potentially get a 2, and we kill it. Also, knockoff. If it's not got any defense investments, 2 knockoffs will kill. First knockoff gets rid of the item, second knockoff does the remaining damage. Perfect. What is not to like? Mr. Gold is absolutely perfect. Now we are bringing Stealth Rocks on this thing, and it is Choice Scarf, so we've got to be careful. But if I can get a free opportunity to get this thing in, go for Stealth Rocks, scare out whatever's coming out. So for an example, if we've got, say, Magmortar, for an example, or the Stuntank, if I can get a free switch in against one of those with our Crocodile, that turn, I'm going to scare them out. They're going to think I'm going to go straight for Earthquake. They're going to switch. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock that turn. They're going to switch into whatever can counter it. So in this situation, probably the Rotom or maybe Diancie, for an example. They're actually probably not Diancie, they're probably the Hydreigon. But they're going to switch out into something like that. And then I can, that following turn, switch out myself. So that Stealth Rocks is going to be becoming crucial, and must get Stealth Rocks up. So that's going to be fun. We're also returning ADELAIDE, Bread Knife, ADELAIDE, Eviolite, max, near enough max HP, a little bit less, but near enough max HP, a little bit, tiny bit in defense, and then max special defense. This thing is my special wall, or it's my dedicated special wall. It's going to put in the finest of work. It will, to an extent, wall his entire team. If he brings out that Diancie, I switch straight into this thing. I will live with, to an extent, I will live anything, and I mean anything, that Diancie wants to throw at me. Providing I'm near at least around 75% health plus, anything that thing wants to hit. Hidden Power, Fire, Earth Powers, I don't know, Dark Pulse if it gets it, whatever it may be. I guarantee live one Iron Head without any attack investments, without a single Sword Stance. One Iron Head, bam, it's gone. It does not live. The only way it lives is if it runs max defense on that Diancie. It's the only way it can live. This thing is an absolute monster. Brett and I have put in the finest of work, and I cannot wait to use this week. It's going to be absolute destruction. Max special defense, as I say, is just there for a little bit, and then the defense investments just to kind of counter it. But adamant nature, and it's literally going to one-shot that Diancie. I am putting my money on it. If it doesn't one-shot it, then it's at least going to just clear it off the field. But one way or another, this ADELAIDE is designed for that Diancie 100%. We've got Red Storm, our Gyarados making a return. Mold Breaker. I didn't even think, it was only when I was running counts that I was like seeing, oh, wonder what, you know, how much would Rotom do to my Mega Gyarados? Like, what's the kind of damage? I was running counts, I was seeing what's what. I completely forgot Mold Breaker's a thing. Earthquake, one shot. It's a Rotom with Levitate. It's a electric type. Obviously, yes, it gains the water type, so it's neutral damage, but oh my goodness, if I can get a +1 off that Rotom, it's gone. Absolute history. Or I can crunch it and it'll still do similar damage. But I completely forgot Earthquake goes through the Levitate, so it's absolutely amazing. He has nothing. The only thing that can counter it is his Flyers. So we've got Crunch, we've got Waterfall. One way or another, we are countering it. If I can get a +1 off of my Gyarados, maybe a +2, we sweep. The only thing we'll struggle taking down is the Heracross. We don't really have a lot for him. One close combat, bye-bye. So we've got to be careful. Got to be careful, but Gyarados this week's going to be an absolute amazing. Max attack, a little bit in speed. It's just enough to outspeed the Diancie and what do you call it? And the Thunderous after a +1. But we do not outspeed the Scarfed Hydreigon. Won't outspeed it, unfortunately, unless you get rid of its Scarf. But yeah, Gyarados this week is going to be absolute MVP. I can see it now. And then we're bringing back Cresselia. Cresselia's taken a couple weeks away. Cresselia's making a return this week. I thought he actually had a really good matchup. It's my dedicated physical wall. It's got Moonblast, Ice Beam, Moonlight, Calm Mind. Ideally, it's just there to counter, again, the Hydreigon to an extent. It can live a couple hits. But it's mainly there for the Crobat. The Crobat, to an extent, cannot wall it, cannot touch it. It just ain't doing nothing. U-Turn does do about 40% to me, but I didn't want to bring Psychic as well because he has too many Dark types. So I didn't bring Psychic. I thought Ice Beam would be better, and plus I got Moonblast if I need to switch. So that I thought was a better play. But that's our team. That's our team. I say my dedicated lead is either Mr. Gold or Tapu Fini. They're my dedicated leads, depending on whether or not I see the Donphan. If I see the Donphan, Tapu Fini is my lead. If I don't see the Donphan, if I don't see the Donphan, sorry, it's Tapu Fini. If I do see the Donphan, then it's either Crocodile or Gyarados, one or the other. But if I do see it. But they're my dedicated leads. But honestly, this week I'm really kind of nervous because he has a lot of like Switch Initiative Pokemon, and he's got a lot of options that he can bring. So this week's going to be an interesting match. I'm a little bit nervous, but hopefully we can pick up a W. Match is going to be later tonight. I'm actually recording this very, very early. Like the sun's not even out. That's how early this is. I've got a lot of recording to do today, so I've got to go out. So I've got a busy day ahead. So I had to get this team builder down ready. And then I'm going out in about an hour, and then I won't be back till God knows what time, probably about 20 minutes before my match actually begins. So I got to go get ready. But thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you guys are excited for the match, which will be going up tomorrow. Definitely show your support for the Crystal Palossands. Hit that like button if you are part of the Crystal Palossands team, and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for your support. Man, SilverBeanie, and I'll catch all y'all beautiful people next time.